Fans of America East need to check the new look AmericaEast.com. News and scores, links to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the new America East blog, AE Extra. Plus, join All Access and enjoy exclusive live game coverage, video highlights, and more. It's all at AmericaEast.com.
We're back here at America East on campus with the head coach of the Boston University men's team, Pat Chambers, in his second year. That means we have to talk about how that first year went. Well, you know what? You could have probably mapped it out before the year, Pat, and said, well, it'd be great if we got a postseason berth. And really, there's probably one game, the game of Vermont, that you'd say, I'd like to have that one back. But everything else must have gone great for you in that first year. What do you think?
It was a rocky road.
You don't think that?
It never goes as you plan. You set up your schedule and you hang out with you try to develop a relationship with those seniors. Last year we had 9 seniors. And you think it's going to be, you always think it's going to be a little bit easier and things are going to come to you and you're going to be this great coach because you worked under such a great guy in Jay Wright. It's never easy and it doesn't work out the way you want it to. But I was proud of that group and that team. They hung in there. They kept fighting. They never gave up. And you saw that in February, winning 10 out of 12 games. And, I was proud of them. Even though we lost that Vermont game, I think it was the first time that this group and this program has been there in the last 4 years. So hopefully we will learn from that and we get better this year.
I look at the end result and say, hey, that was a pretty good year. But you probably, as a coach, go back with a fine-tooth comb and look at every little thing that you wish you could redo again.
There's no doubt. You question yourself, especially in the Vermont game, because that's the game that sends you to the tournament. You watch that over 1,000,000 times, what you would have done differently and what you could have asked your team to do differently, how you could have prepared differently, what your pregame speech could have been differently. And then you watch all the other, losses early on in January. Again, it's just, you got to learn from it. As a coach, you got to get better. It was my first year, and you're kind of learning on the fly and learning what all the great coaches go through in their first year and learning what this team is good at and what they're not good at and how you got to adjust. And I was proud of that team, and you can't beat yourself up too much. You just got to keep getting better.
When you look at this team, it's got to be one of the most interesting mixes of so many new faces, but you have 2 of the most established players in this conference that are back.
I think that's why you get the ranking that you do. You have one of the 2 of the maybe 10 best players in the league, 2 of them, but there's 3 new faces, and sometimes those 3 guys are freshmen. And high school to college, it's a leap. It's a big jump as far as effort, as far as competition. Our non-conference schedule hasn't been easy. Very competitive. You got to play hard every night. There's no margin for error on this level, none. And I think that's why we were ranked so highly.
One of the highlights of the year will be playing at Madison Square Garden. Your thoughts on being able to go to what is the mecca of college basketball?
Unbelievable. My time at Villanova, every time we went to the Big East tournament and you walk out there on a Thursday or Friday night with the lights on in New York, it's just, you get chills up and down your spine. And I think, I wanted to do this for John Holland. He's done so much for this program and this university, and he's given up so much of his time and sacrifice that I wanted to make sure we got him a game in New York. These guys are always going to remember the trip to New York and Madison Square Garden, the trip to Rupp in Kentucky. They're always going to remember these things, and that's what you're doing as a group and as a team. You're going to, 20 years, 25 years down the road, these guys are all going to be together, all going to still be talking. They're going to be, hey, remember we played at MSG? Hey, remember we played at Rupp? And that's what you're trying to do.
Coming up next, he's one of the best shooters in the conference, but Maine's Gerald McLemore brought a complete game with him from San Diego to Orono.
Whatever's asked of me, I go out and play, so that's kind of my game. I'm a player, I'll play defense, I'll shoot the ball, I'll pass the ball, I'll sit on the bench if I need to, so I'm just a team guy.